Is the WWE 2K25 Platinum Trophy a botched mess? That question I'm going to answer today as I go through the road to Platinum Mania and earn myself the Platinum here today. What is up, Phenom fam? Welcome back to the YouTube channel, and welcome to Phenom Platinums. Stick around till the end of the video because I'm going to be giving not one but two review scores for this game. The first one for the game itself, and the second for how I would rank the actual trophy hunting experience. So stay tuned for that. Before we jump into the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. And also, please leave a comment on what I can do to improve on this video format. This is the very first video I'm making like this. I will say right off the bat, because of some poor planning on my part, there are some parts of the video where the only footage I have of me getting some of the trophies is through the PS5's auto capture. So I apologize for that. There's going to be some discrepancy between the quality of some of the gameplay clips you guys are going to see. I do apologize for that, but going forward for videos like this, there shouldn't be any issues like that. But with that being said, let's get some adrenaline in our souls as we make our entrance for the WWE 2K25 Platinum Mania Gauntlet match. WWE 2K25 has 61 trophies in the base game, including the Platinum, and 5 DLC trophies dedicated to the Island mode, meaning playing the Island is not required to get the Platinum, which is fine by me. I did check out the mode a few times, but it just isn't for me, so I won't be focusing on it during this video. The game was released on March 14th, 2025, with a 7-day early access period for owners of the Deadman and Bloodline editions of the game. If you guys didn't know, I've actually been making content with the WWE games on the channel since 2017, so I went ahead and spent the extra money to have early access to the game. No, I'm not proud of it, and no, I don't think it's necessary for most people. But let's move on from that. Our journey, our first stop on the road to Platinum Mania, if you will, starts all the way back on the morning of March 7th, 2025, where I would play the game for the very first time, and I would begin by streaming the game and my first impressions. The stream started off, ironically enough, with me attempting to start the island, where we would earn our first trophy, In Your Image, which is complete My Superstar Builder for the first time. Unfortunately, like I said, this trophy doesn't count towards the Platinum, and also the servers for the island were not working at the time, causing me to be stuck in an infinite loading screen. After a few minutes, I rebooted the game and decided to jump into my faction instead. All right. I'm getting impatient. My faction is the WWE equivalent to Madden's Ultimate Team, MLB The Show's Diamond Dynasty, where you open card packs that give you wrestlers, upgrades, cosmetic items to customize your faction or your team, which you can then use to play in a few different modes, which I'll explain each as we go along, because each of them has trophies attached to them. As I was opening up my first packs and my bonus packs for owning the Bloodline edition of the game, I was rewarded with our first base game trophy, A Promising Start. Complete a lifetime challenge in my faction. After getting my faction set up, I jumped into the live events mode. Now, this mode has a constant rotating selection of matches with varying stipulations that allows you to unlock a lot of different rewards, including exclusive persona cards, which when unlocked in my faction, will unlock that wrestler or attire across the entire game, so they are extremely rare and extremely valuable. These matches can and often will vary in difficulty, some of which being near impossible to win. Our first match was pretty straightforward, however. Iron Sheik's Birthday Bash asked us to use any of our men's cards to defeat Iron Sheik in a submission match. What was also straightforward was the beating I was about to receive from the Iron Sheik. You remember when I said it was straightforward? Well, I got my butt kicked. But even in defeat, we still earned our next trophy, Daily Progress. Complete a daily challenge in my faction. Mama didn't raise no quitter, though, because at our next attempt, we would beat the Iron Sheik, and we would get our next trophy, the Taste of Victory, win a match in my faction. A few hours later, we would take the journey back to the island and complete a few matches, earning us 2 trophies. First, badges. We need stinking badges for unlocking a badge. And let's go for complete the quest, Welcome to My Island. Again, these don't count towards the Platinum, but I did earn them, so I thought I'd point them out. This concluded my first impression stream, and I took the opportunity to hop into the showcase mode. This mode allows you to play through a series of curated matches from WWE's past, allowing you to recreate the events as they happened, or sometimes change history and crown a different winner than the original match. WWE 2K25's showcase mode follows the Bloodline and their extended family, with each match focusing on a new member or members in the case of tag team matches. Inside of each match, you will have a list of objectives to complete, which are not actually necessary to progress. All you need to do is win the match to move on, but the objectives are required for trophies, so we'll be getting them all anyways. After certain objectives, you'll be shown an in-game recreation of moments from the actual match, which I think is vastly better than the past few years where they would cut away to actual match footage with half the screen blurred out because wrestlers were no longer under contract, or sponsors were shown in the background that are no longer sponsoring WWE. Having Paul Heyman talk you through the matches beforehand truly makes you feel like you're experiencing something epic, which is another great addition to the mode. There's not much else to say about it, but we earned 6 trophies in this mode, starting with day 1-ish, complete 1 objective and showcase. Banzai for crushing Hulkamania at the 1993 King of the Ring with Yokozuna. I did it for the people. Stun Stone Cold at No Mercy 2000 with Rikishi. The OTC win the Bloodline War Games match with Team Roman Reigns. The NTC win the Bloodline War Games match with Team Solo Sikoa. And finally, the showcase mode concludes with a 10-person gauntlet match for the title of Tribal Chief, where you can play as any of the previously playable showcase wrestlers. So, I'd like to introduce you to the new Tribal Chief, and earning us the trophy, Head of the Table.
The winner of this match, and officially, your Tribal Chief, Naomi!
I do genuinely really like the showcase modes. I wish there was more to show or to say about them, but unfortunately I have a bad history with the showcase modes and getting my YouTube videos taken down. So I'm trying to be strategic about what I show about the mode. But to wrap up the day, this is still our first day of early access. I jumped back into my faction and earned Never Felt More Alive for completing 10 live event matches in my faction. And then finally, I hopped into the World Tour mode in my faction. Now, this mode lays out a few territories in the United States, each with 3 chapters of 5 matches, with varying stipulations and rules. Some of them will randomize the wrestler you play as, some of them will force you to use only bronze level superstars, some of them make all your teammates and opponents exact copies of you, etc. We'll do a bit of a deeper dive into this mode soon, but to get our first taste, I earned Start of a Journey, complete a location world tour in my faction. I spent the next few days playing my faction. Our next trophy required checking out the weekly towers, which is probably the most straightforward play option in the mode. Each week, a new tower unlocks, which has 5 set matches for you to play through, typically with no restrictions. Once you complete the 5 matches, you're given a set reward. You can play as anyone on your roster for these matches, and the difficulty is pretty easy on average. After completing our first weekly tower, we got the trophy Weekly Winner. Next, we earned a Journey of a Lifetime for completing 15 lifetime challenges in my faction. And finally, Champion for a Day, complete all 3 of a day's daily challenges in my faction. With that being said, we're going to check out My Rise, which is the game's version of a career mode or story mode. You get to create 2 superstars to take on your adventure through this mode. There are some places throughout the story where you must make a decision that will lock out the other path, and there are usually trophies related to both choices, so we will need to play through the story at least twice. After our first match, we are drafted number 1 in the WWE draft, earning the trophy, The Draft and the Furious. Shortly after this, we will be prompted to create our second My Rise superstar, earning us the trophy, Then There Were Two. After a few more matches, we decide to take the fight back to Mutiny as we invade their show and steal their Unity Championships, earning the trophy United We Stand. Next, we take a short break from the main story. Next, we take a short break from the main quest line to check out live events in My Rise. Completing our first match in this mode will earn us We'll Do It Live. The storyline will start to branch off here depending on what personality traits you chose for each of your superstars back at the start. I chose bold and brash for one character and comedic for the other. So after a few matches, we earn the trophies bold moves and laughing last for completing a bold storyline and comedic storyline respectively. Our next trophy, which I would say is kind of at the start of like Act 3 of the story, but long story short, we need to recruit 2 allies to our resistance of sorts for Survivor Series. After finalizing our team, we earn the trophy Survivor Squad. Survivor Series ends with our second superstar turning on our first and joining Mutiny. The game then gives you the choice to continue playing as your first superstar in the fight against Mutiny, or play as your second and help Mutiny finally take control of the main roster. In this playthrough, I chose to take the fight to Mutiny, and I was going to need some help. The game gives you 3 choices on who to recruit to this fight. I chose Recruit Past 2K My Players, which sees all of the My Rise / My Career characters from the past 2K games return to help fend off Mutiny. Once we complete the story with this ending, we earn the trophies Multiverse of My Players for choosing the Blast from the Past ending, and the Righteous Victory trophy for choosing the Reclaim ending. We're not quite done with My Rise yet, as we have to complete all the other possible endings, as well as go back to live events to get all those stars. So I started grinding live events and earned 50 total stars, earning us the trophy Live Event MVP. After that, I decided to jump back in and start a new playthrough, this time choosing a scheming personality trait. After completing a scheming storyline, we earned the trophy The Strategist. Partway through this second playthrough, I jumped back into the Live Events tab, finally finishing off the 100 stars needed for the trophy Live Event Legend. As I approached the ending of my second playthrough, I decided to do something very important to save time going forward. Before starting Survivor Series, I manually uploaded my save to the cloud and disabled auto uploads to the cloud. This will be very important soon, and I'm sure any of my trophy hunters out there know what's going on, but I'll explain in just a little bit. Anyways, this time I chose to play through the Conquer ending, where I join Mutiny and end the main roster's reign of terror. As we make our way towards the ending, we're given the opportunity to wrestle for the NXT Mutiny Championship, and we even get to select our opponent. I was given the option to face either Trick Williams or Ashante Adonis. I decided to take on Whoop That Trick, which earned us the trophy Forged in Battle for facing either Trick Williams or Io Sky in this match. I forgot to mention, if your second superstar is a woman, your choices are to face either Io Sky or Wendy Chu. A little while later, our second playthrough concludes and we earn the trophies Mutiny Mastermind and Encore Performance for completing the story a second time. You remember that cloud save thing we did earlier? It's about to work overtime for us, as we still have 3 different ending-related trophies to get. And do I really want to play through My Rise 3 more times? Nah, I don't really feel like it. So instead, we're going to do what I refer to, and I think the trophy hunting community lovingly refers to as save scumming. So instead of starting a new playthrough, I'm going to close the game, download my save from the cloud, and just like that, we're back to right before Survivor Series. I decided to get the other Conquer ending out of the way and faced off against Ashante Adonis for the NXT Mutiny Championship and earned the trophy Victory by Design. This time we'll pick the ending Legendary Help and earn the trophy Legends Assemble, which sees us getting help from, of course, WWE Legends in the fight against Mutiny. And once we wrap that up, one final time, we'll close the game, download the save, and get our final My Rise trophy, Indie Infiltration, for choosing the help of indie wrestlers to take the fight to Mutiny once and for all, and thus concluding our journey through My Rise. Now at this point, we've earned quite a decent amount of trophies, and you might be asking yourself, Phenom, Josh, I mean, you said this game might be a botched mess. I mean, what's the deal? The trophies don't seem that hard. I promise you, the worst is yet to come. Like this next trophy, United States Champion, which is earned by completing all of the USA matches in World Tour in my faction. Now, that might seem simple enough, but I promise you, this is one of the most annoying trophies in the game, at least for me. Now, there are quite a few annoying matches in here that need to be beaten to progress. A lot of the World Tour matches can be annoyingly difficult, whether it be because of the AI difficulty being ramped up, or because there are some matches where you're forced to play as awful bronze cards, or that your cards are randomized altogether. But I think one set of matches in particular takes the cake as the most annoying, downright atrocious excuses for fun and engaging gameplay I've ever seen in a WWE game. The second tour in Boston is called To War, which is fitting because just writing this script is giving me non-flashbacks. Anyways, this tour is fittingly named because it asks you to play 5 War Games matches in a row with a few rule changes. If you guys have played this game, you'll know that multi-man matches in general are not fun. So having to play 5 War Games matches in a row is not fun at all. And we didn't even get to the rule changes. First up, you cannot select who you play as. Who you play as and the rest of your team are completely random for all 5 matches. You get no choice, no way to influence it. It's just a completely random card that you own. Now you're facing off against a full team of Ruby cards in all these matches, which granted, I will say, maybe if you're doing this now and you have the opportunity to get like some diamond cards in there, this might not be that bad. But at the time of playing this, the only Ruby cards available were your 2 starter evolution cards, and you had 1 man and 1 woman. And let me tell you, I don't think I ever got lucky enough to get either of them. So you're already fighting the uphill battle of the fact that you're playing as someone random, usually someone who you don't know the moves for at least for me. And then they're also significantly weaker than the enemy team. And that's just one of the rule changes. But wait, there's more. There's also a stipulation in all of these matches that you earn your finishers and signatures 40% slower than normal. So not only are your opponents usually a significantly higher overall than you are, but you also take almost twice as long to get signatures and finishers, of which you will need to hit multiple of if you have any hopes to win these matches. Not to mention that you also need to have eyes like a hawk because your teammates will usually get pinned or submitted out of nowhere off of a normal move. Can you tell I didn't like these matches yet? Regardless, I eventually persevered, made it through all the matches, and could finally move on from this mode. Although I will say, with all the struggling I went through, I'm glad I earned this trophy when I did, because at some point after launch, they added around 50 new matches to the USA and World Tour, and somehow they made it so that you need to complete all of these additional matches for this trophy to unlock. So if you didn't unlock this trophy before, you now have to play an additional 50 matches on top of the maybe 60 or 70 that you had to play in the first place. I feel bad for Tyler, because he found this out the hard way, unfortunately. So we will now have a moment of silence for Tyler. Okay, let's move on. Next, I decided to jump into yet another mode in my faction called Faction Wars. This mode is 2K's attempt at a roguelike mode in WWE 2K25. While I applaud the idea, I think it falls short in execution in my opinion. Quick explanation. As you play any of the My Faction modes, you will earn Faction Wars tickets. When you enter a Faction Wars run, you spend 1 ticket to start the game. You choose your team for that run and begin your first match. You choose a team for that run and you begin your first match. After you win said match, you are given choices on where to navigate on this board, so to speak. There are a few different types of nodes or spaces that provide a different kind of upgrades, armor, health items, or badges to help you get an edge in your next match. Yes, you heard me right, health items, because your superstars do not recover health between matches. So if you had a particularly tough battle, it is smart to take a path leading to some healing items. At the end of each round is a boss battle where you face off in a 4v4 tag match against the boss team. There are a total of 5 rounds, and if you manage to win, you get some decent rewards and the option to unlock those boss cards that you beat and add them to your faction permanently. If you lose the match, however, your run is over and you are sent back to the menu where you will need to spend a ticket to enter again. With that explanation over, we jump through the tutorial and earn the trophy Beginner's Luck for completing all intro challenges in My Faction. After a few days of grinding through Faction Wars, we earn the trophy Faction Wars Champion for winning 30 boss battle matches. We're going to take a break from My Faction for a little bit and jump into Create a Superstar, specifically to get the trophy Rando Rising. All we have to do is go into Create a Superstar, hit Randomize, save, and then win a match as our Random Renegade. Next up, we got another new mode to check out. We'll be jumping into the Universe mode, which basically lets you do whatever you want, really. In this mode, you can book matches to your heart's content, set up rosters, adjust show schedules, add or edit pay-per-views or PLEs for the young folk out there. Add rivalries, add cutscenes, the possibilities are almost endless. There's only 5 trophies related to this mode, however, all of which are pretty simple, so we'll kind of blast through them here. Mic Up is unlocked for completing a self-promo rivalry action. Enough Talk is unlocked by starting an immediate match or brawl from a call-out promo rivalry action. Open Season is unlocked by issuing or accepting an open challenge rivalry action. Wrestling Royalty is unlocked for crowning a new King and Queen of the Ring. And finally, Biggest Night of the Year for completing both nights of WrestleMania. After wrapping up Universe mode, I headed back into Play Now to quickly unlock the trophies This Is New for performing a successful diving attack off the barricade and backed by popular demand for completing a chain wrestling sequence in a match. We're finally being introduced to the final mode in the game, My GM. This mode puts you in the role of the general manager of the brand of your choosing. You will then be tasked with drafting a roster, booking matches in an attempt to outperform the other brands, which can be human or CPU controlled. Every match is given a star rating based on a few factors like superstar XP level, their popularity, and how much chemistry they have with their opponents, among other things. You can also upgrade your show to help earn more fans, money, and higher ratings. This mode featured by far the longest grind in the game, at least for me, a grind so long in fact that it caused me to burn myself out on the game and put it down for a few months before coming back to it, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But first things first, we unlocked the trophy GM Punk, which is earned by entering the Hall of Fame in first place with CM Punk as your GM and NXT Mutiny as your brand. Shortly after, we unlocked the trophy Use It or Lose It for having exactly $0 after booking a show. Man, I wish I got rewarded for having $0 in real life. Anyways, this is where the fatigue with this game started to set in. Turns out, when you buy and play the same game every year for 11 years, you tend to burn out pretty quick. Who'd have thunk it, right? I took about 2 months off of this game, set it on the shelf, and then eventually dusted it off and came back to unlock the trophy Rise Through the Ranks. Remember when I told you a few minutes ago that we weren't quite done with my faction? Well, here we are. This trophy is earned by receiving a ranked leaderboard reward in my faction. So this trophy, I actually did all the work for months beforehand. All I had to do is play 5 ranked online placement matches to be ranked on the leaderboards, and then you have to wait 2 months or so for the ranked season to end to actually receive the reward and thus the trophy. I would put the game down for another couple weeks. A few weeks later, I would dust the game off once again and return to collect my daily login rewards for my faction, and for doing so 5 times in a single week, I unlocked the trophy Loyalty Confirmed. Another few weeks would go by before I would return to the game. This time, I would drop into the island and play a few matches and earned the trophy Road to Glory for completing a Hall of Fame challenge in the mode. Another week would go by before I pick up the game again. This time, I would stream the game working on some of the trophies. Specifically, I would be working on some of the Play Now trophies. Some of them are pretty straightforward, and some I'm convinced are literally impossible. This is called foreshadowing. So, we start things off by going for the trophy Going Solo, where we had to defeat Roman Reigns in a Bloodline Rules match without summoning any allies on Legend difficulty, which is the game's highest difficulty. A Bloodline Rules match is a match type where there are no disqualifications, and you can summon up to 3 allies to help you win the match. Although, the computer can do the same too. Like I said, I can't do that if I want to win the trophy. So this match is really just a 4-on-1 handicap. After a few failed attempts, I was actually able to lock in and find Roman's kryptonite. Plastic. I mean that literally. I beat him while playing as one of the action figure wrestlers. And on this attempt, I actually was able to beat him before he even summoned a single ally, making it a fair fight, but it really came down to the buzzer here. Tombstone, tombstone. Come on. No, Dwayner. Let's go! Before Dwayne could even get in the ring. Let's see that trophy pop. Let's go, Going Solo. The next trophy on this journey is Miraculous Comeback, which requires us to win a match by knockout after recovering from a critical knockout situation on Legend difficulty. It's with knockouts enabled, once you take enough damage, you enter into the critical knockout state, where one more big move will knock you out and end the match. To recover from this, you need to successfully reverse a move. So I jumped into an underground match, which is won by knockout or submission, got beat up a bit, almost got knocked out, recovered, then won. Easy as that. Pretty simple. Okay. She's gonna reverse the next 12 things that I do, so. Let's see if that counted, because I'm not sure if that counted as a critical or whatever. Okay, it did. Miraculous Comeback. Win a match via KO after mounting a comeback from a critical KO situation on Legend difficulty. Next, we earn the trophy Impeccable Ring Awareness by winning a match on Legend difficulty without a single rope break. Again, pretty straightforward. Is that enough? Let's go. Kalani Jordan picking up the victory. Impeccable Ring Awareness. Win via pin or submission without having any rope breaks called against you on Legend difficulty. Here's where things get interesting. Remember when I talked about foreshadowing? The next trophy I attempted to get was Size Matters, which is earned by winning a 5-person Turmoil Gauntlet match on Legend difficulty as a giant without losing all of your armor. Yeah, this is one of the trophies that I think is impossible. When playing as someone with a giant fighting style, you start off with an extra bar of health called armor. Just like any other health bar, it goes down when you get hit or when an enemy reverses your attack. The difference is that your armor does not recover whatsoever. You see where I'm going with this yet? Yeah, you have to defeat 5 opponents in a row without losing a single bar of health. That does not regenerate whatsoever. We're also forced to play on the hardest difficulty, where your opponents reverse almost every other move that you do. This armor is fragile. Even going against some of the lowest overall superstars in the game, your armor is gone in 5 to 10 hits. I genuinely had no clue how to get this one. I had a couple of failed attempts, so I took a break from that trophy and moved on to Mommy's Revenge, which is earned by defeating all Judgment Day members via pinfall or submission on Legend difficulty as Rhea Ripley. Be reversing. See, in my experience, on playing on the hardest difficulty, their overall doesn't really matter that much in terms of like what they do and how they act. All right, so we got it. Mommy's Revenge is Rhea Ripley defeat all Judgment Day members via pinfall or submission on Legend. This one was pretty simple and took only a little over 40 minutes to achieve. Speaking of which, I'm actually an overachiever because to get this trophy, you actually only need to defeat Liv Morgan, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, JD McDonough, and Carlito. For some reason, I thought I had to also defeat Raquel Rodriguez, so I did that in the process as well. So I'm just that damn good, you know? Next, I decided to work on what I would soon find out is yet another impossible trophy, in my opinion, which is Let's Run It Back, which asks you to win a 20-person gauntlet match on Legend difficulty. Yes, the game is asking me to win 20 matches in a row without recovering health on the highest difficulty. During this stream, the best attempt I got was losing on opponent number 5, which means I was able to win 4 out of the 20 matches that I needed to win in a row. Yeah, I lost on number 5. So that was the end of that stream. After a couple days, I would come back to get my revenge with another stream picking up where I left off. And by that, I of course mean that I had over 3 hours of unsuccessful attempts at both trophies. Soul-crushing defeat after soul-crushing defeat, loss after loss, led me to become desperate. So I decided, with the encouragement of chat, however, I can't let them off scot-free. They made me do this. And because I'm a people pleaser, I decided that I had to cheese the trophies. I had to. I had no other choice. I would say that I'm not proud of myself, but I'm gonna be honest, that's not true. I'm incredibly proud of myself. Are you kidding? A wise man once said, work smarter, not harder, and I took that to heart, man. So after altering some settings to make it so that the enemies hardly reverse anything and can basically be instantly tapped out, I finally earned the trophy Size Matters, something that's done inside of one match. There we go, Size Matters. Using any giant win a 5-entrant Turmoil Gauntlet on Legend difficulty without losing all armor. And shortly after, I earned the trophy Let's Run It Back. Let's Run It Back. Successfully run through a 20-entrant Turmoil Gauntlet match on Legend difficulty. Oops, didn't mean to click into the trophies, but let's be serious for a second here. How are you supposed to do this without messing with the settings? Like, I don't understand. Literally my best attempt at either trophy, Size Matters, I could not beat a single person without losing that health bar. At all. I couldn't. I tried so many times against the lowest overall people in the game. I literally have no clue how you're supposed to do it. No clue. Is it maybe a skill issue? Potentially, but like, I'd like to think that I'm at least pretty good at these games. Half decent at least. Let's Run It Back. That getting to number 5 was literally the best attempt I had to. So not even a quarter of the way through that, because I lost on the 5th person. Whatever. Let's continue. We're still working on some Play Now trophies in between some of my attempts at the previous trophy. I was grinding underground matches on Legend difficulty for the trophy Underground Reign, for winning 25 consecutive underground matches on Legend difficulty. All right, Underground Reign. Rack up 25 consecutive wins via knockout or submission in an underground match on Legend difficulty. I've been trying my best not to use instant recovery, as I need to win 25 matches on Legend difficulty without using it to unlock the trophy Recovery Deferred.
Here is your winner, Triple H.
And with that being said, we can put Play Now Underground, as we are finally in the home stretch of this game. Kinda. All right. It's been a long journey leading up to this. It's been It's been a bit. We've taken a couple of short breaks from the game, a couple weeks, a couple months in between here and there. But we've got 5 My GM trophies left, and that's it. Just 5. Nothing crazy, right? Just 5 trophies. Nothing, definitely nothing that's going to cause me to, you know, put the game down for like 6 months or, you know, whatever. Nothing crazy like that. Definitely not. So we return to My GM. We're so close to the platinum, I can almost taste it. First up, we earned Inevitable for having Immortal Kyle Slickman win the main event of WrestleMania while he's on your roster. Shortly after that, we got the trophy Just a Scratch for having 5 or more superstars getting injured on a go-home show, which is the show before a pay-per-view. Next up, we got Medical Bill for collecting $150,000 or more for releasing an injured cash suplex from your roster. Here we are. We finally made it to the summit. Just 2 trophies stand between us and sweet, sweet victory. So, let's just get it over with and... Oh, you mean I did actually take 6 months to earn the last 2 trophies because I played far too much of the game and was burnt out and didn't want to keep grinding my GM mode? So here's the deal. So over the course of that 2-month period, I would occasionally come back to the game every couple weeks or so, and I would grind and grind and grind and grind and grind. And you're telling me, what am I trying to tell you? How is there this trophy that's so grindy? Well, it's really luck-based, and let's just say my RNG luck, not the best. So the next trophy, finally, after 2 months of playing on and off, I would return to the game to grind out the annoying trophy, the 1%, which requires us to win the main event of every pay-per-view while playing as the NXT Mutiny brand. Now this sounds really straightforward. I promise you, it's not. So, this trophy sucks. So each season in My GM, there are 5 pay-per-views, premium live events, whatever you want to call them. So just win all 5, right? Like, it seems pretty self-explanatory. No, wrong. You're wrong. So, there's 5 every season, right? Well, if only it were that easy. Every season, week 20 is always Survivor Series, and every season, week 25 is always WrestleMania. There are 3 other PLEs each season, which are randomly picked from a list of 8. You need to win the main event at all 10 premium live events. So this trophy is 100% RNG luck-based. Like I said, I don't have RNG luck. That's not a thing that happens. You want to know why? You would think, oh, maybe you gotta repeat a couple seasons. Theoretically speaking, you could encounter all 3. If you're really lucky, you could get all 8 within 3 seasons. Maybe he had to play to season 5, season 6. No way he had to play past season 7 or 8. I played 16 seasons of My GM in 1 save file for this trophy. 16 seasons. Are you joking me? That's over 75 PLEs. 75 to win 10 of them. Are you kidding me? 16 seasons of doing nothing but hitting autobook, triangle. 16 seasons of doing nothing but booking matches and simulating through them to win this stupid PLE. And you know what the most insulting thing is that from like season 7, I only needed one more pay-per-view that entire time, and I couldn't get it to pop up. It took another 9 seasons for me to get the one that I needed. All I needed was, I think it was Clash at the Castle. I can't even remember. I don't have it in the script, but there was one pay-per-view that I needed for like 8 or 9 seasons, I swear. And it took me 16 seasons to get it to pop up. This trophy is awful. So, as you can imagine, after grinding through 16 seasons of My GM, I had burnt myself out on the game again and didn't want to touch it for 4 months. Despite being so close to the platinum, being able to taste the metal on my tongue, I couldn't bring myself to do it. The thought of playing any more, not just any more of the game, but playing more My GM specifically, made me sick. But eventually, before we even get to the last trophy, let's talk about it a little bit. This trophy requires some setup, but I couldn't bring myself to play My GM for a while. Like I said, it would be another 4 months before I returned to the game to set up for the final trophy. The trophy in question, host with the most. For this trophy, we need to host and complete a MyGM online WrestleMania show with 3 other human-controlled brands. Now, I could have gotten this trophy the normal way, where I actually play the game organically with my friends and get the trophy the right way. Why the heck would I do that? I'm an adult with responsibilities, dude. I don't have time to play games with my friends. Are you kidding me? So to help speed this process up, my friends JP, Tyler, and Mark, shout out to all of them, decided that we should start a new MyGM save in local co-op with 4 human-controlled brands. Then you can auto-book every show up until WrestleMania, back out, invite the friends, unlock the trophy in a matter of minutes instead of having to play through a season for each person, because only the host of the save file get the trophy. So if we wanted to get this legitimately, we would have actually had to play 3 seasons of MyGM, because Mark didn't actually care about the trophy. So especially shout out to him for helping us out, because he didn't even care about the trophy. He was just willing to help us. But we didn't want to, I couldn't even bring myself to play 1 more season, let alone 3. So thank God that this works the way that it does. But that's what we did. And I especially feel bad because we made the plans to do this method of unlocking the trophy back in like May or June. And it took me until January to finally set this up. I believe we were hanging out for either SummerSlam. We were hanging out for some pay-per-view, and I remember JP and Tyler being like, hey, do you set up that MyGM save yet? And I was like, no. And then it took me another like 4 months after that to actually do it. So I apologize to them, but that's neither here nor there. Finally, after setting up my save, 10 months, 3 days, 12 hours, 29 minutes, 29 seconds, it all came down to this moment.
Program, like they made the whole hullabaloo of
host with the most
with Becky, and yeah, it never happened.
And then there we go, platinum, all trophies earned for WWE 2K25.
Woo!
61 trophies earned, 131 hours played, 16 seasons of MyGM, 3 save scums, and a little bit of cheesing later, the platinum is finally mine. Does that make me the head of the table? Probably not. While I think WWE 2K25 is a solid entry in the series, it also doesn't do a lot for me personally. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I've bought and played every WWE 2K game since 2K14, and played each for nearly 100 hours or more. So forgive me for being a little less than enthusiastic about my final review of the game. While the gameplay is solid, customization is great, and new and returning match types are welcome additions. On the other hand, the island is a half-baked cash grab mode that locks customization items behind a paywall that would have previously been free. My faction, which was once my favorite mode in 2K22, has become yet another greedy cash grab mode, and the DLC packs leave a lot to be desired in my opinion. What I'm trying to say is there's a lot to like and a lot to dislike about WWE 2K25. With all that said, I would give the overall 2K25 package a 6.5 out of 10. When it comes to the Platinum experience as a whole, between a few RNG-based trophies, the 2 trophies that I legitimately think are near impossible without cheesing, and then somehow making it harder to earn trophies partway through the year by adding matches to World Tour, I'm gonna give the WWE 2K25 Platinum experience a 4 out of 10. Yes, I do think the WWE 2K25 Platinum trophy is a botched mess, and I only recommend going for the Platinum here if you are a huge WWE fan and you don't mind some grinding, some raging, and some boredom. Guys, genuinely, if you're still watching at this point, I just wanted to thank you. As I'm writing this script, I'm not exactly sure how long this video is going to be, but legitimately, thank you for sticking around until the end of the video if you did. I apologize again for the inconsistency in the gameplay quality. Future videos should be more uniform in that sense going forward. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and until next time, have a phenomenal day.